Alright, hello Mage fans, players, this is Sly and I'm back for another video. This is going to be a tips and tricks video, and guys, the secret that I learned, it's actually I'm going to tell you the secret, the strategy in whatever tips and tricks that I learned from this game. I'm going to share it to you. I'll be quitting anyway. I'm just really waiting for a buyer of my account. There are some offers that's kind of really cheap, and I don't want to, you know, just sell this account like you're giving it away. So all right, there's gonna be a series of, again, tips and tricks, and then I'm gonna include a previous video of mine of tips and tricks. So if you want to know it all, you can just watch it on one video. All right, so okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So there are some probably like requests before, and this is, I guess, one of the most interesting topic. Like how would you beat like this meta build, like crit plus mojo or any mojo build? How you would be able to beat it? All right, let me tell you a secret, and for some probably already know this. Some of you guys, some still is waiting for me and keeps messaging me and also putting some comments on my YouTube. So how would you be able to beat the mojo build? What I meant about mojo build is they have, let's say for example in the stats, they have a higher mojo, and either they use the relic of this emblem, or they just use, like, you know, a rebirth. They can hit first, and if they want to do critical, so that's it, they're gonna take advantage of that. But the most effective, actually, if you have a mojo build, is really this Azura emblem, because it has like the damage depending on how let's say, depending on your mojo, how the greater mojo you have, the more damage you're gonna get, right, versus your opponent. And I'm not still certain in how this is being calculated, overpower versus the base. We do have a discussion before. Actually, an argument turns into an argument, and you know, which is better, of the base or overpower, right? But it really depends on who's your opponent and how you're gonna use it, right? And what's your strategy. So, okay, let's get right into it. Now, to counter the mojo build, say for example they do have crit, of course you're gonna have a crit resistance, right? And then say for example they have a higher mojo, right? But if you can counter it with resistance, it's better. And then they have a higher mojo and you can counter it with resistance, it's still gonna damage you a lot. So what you going to do is, all right, this is again a counter for that. You wanna get this, all right, as your relic, and then on your, okay, so but this strategy still depends on how depends on the gap of your stats, right? So if you think he's just ahead, right, your attack and defense is actually much higher, or probably there's like 5% higher, is 5% higher, and then your, you know, 5% lower or 10%. It really depends, but you can try it out. So use this as your relic. Of course, as your resistance, you need to counter the crit resistance. All right, make sure that he doesn't crit, and then you're gonna have again the max of your overpower. So meaning to say, all this equipment should have overpower or debase, okay, or debate. You can use I prefer debase if he has a higher mojo. So yeah, so but then again, that really depends, because I don't know, I'm not the devs and I don't know how they calculate it, but that actually works just fine, right? So all of this should have overpowered the base. Now, and in addition to that, right? Since you guys don't have any rebirth, so whoever hits first have most likely have a chance of winning, right? You might, since you don't have like you're worried about the HP, right? So you might wanna put some HP steal. That depends if he is actually has lowered this wrap. So at least, even if he hits first, because he has way more mojo and overpowered stats or the base stats, okay, you still have a chance to regain your health by using HP steal. That is that if he doesn't have he has lowered this wrap, right? Because most likely, if it's gonna use crit, then he would use. It's gonna be hard for him really to also use HP still in this wrap, or it really depends. Now I don't know where you're currently at in your book, but that depends, okay? And what aura he actually has. So, alright, that's just really to counter, right? Also, if you have like a counter build with Mojo, say for example, if you have this kind of build, and then it has like overpowered the base. For top one in the server, you might get this up to like more than like 110, 100 to 120 within that range, depending on how your equipment looks like. If you have premium equipment, so, and then it has of course HP steal, so it's the best way to counter a crit, right? Counter plus overpowering the base, and then some HP steal. But of course, your secondary should always be the base mojo, because the moment that your mojo is that big of a gap, then he would definitely, you know, the whoever builds the crit plus mojo would capitalize on that, even if he doesn't crit, or if he doesn't do crit. Now, for this, still use the magic bracelet, because this magic bracelet actually has you know, a lot of effect on your mojo. Okay, you would notice your mojo might go up more than 100 or around 100. Just check mine, right? If I'm gonna use this. Okay, so my mojo currently is 91,776. If I'm gonna use this, just imagine the increase in my mojo. It's 126. That's almost around like 97, right? So around 29. So around 29 mojo, it actually gives me more mojo, around 29,000, right? So that's just one to counter it. Or what do we call this? Or let's say if you have combo, still the same, or you know, combo, and then as long as you have resistance in this crit or whatever special stats it's using, you have resistance in that, then you might want to use also the magic bracelet. Okay, so again, combo, that's also one way to do it, because combo, as we know, we actually have these emergent what do we call this, runes, right, that would give you HP steal and combo, so you don't you won't be having a hard time, you know, trying to get the HP steal plus again the combo and like mojo build, like mojo. So by the way, when we say mojo build, that's basically, you know, you're building for a plat mojo and you're doing this overpowering the base mojo. That's what I meant about mojo build, right? Because it's not like you're getting interested in mojo and suddenly there's, because this basically controls the mojo of your enemy. This controls your mojo or buff right? Your mojo buff and debuffs. So that's what I meant about mojo build, right? Either you put crit or, you know, put your Azure emblem plus mojo, right? So again, mojo is all about, it's exactly a different name of attack speed. So I guess that's pretty much about it. It would look like this. Anti-mojo, I have a hidden build. So it would look like that, just to counter your opponent. So I actually have the counter and the crit, you know, and then I put mojo, so that's 126. So this basically, if my opponent stats, is, let's say for example, his attack is around 600, and my attack is and defense is around 350, right? And this build can actually beat that guy, right? I'm certain about this, but if it's over 650 or 600, I doubt. So if it not that big of a gap, then certainly this build will actually beat that mojo crit plus mojo plus Azure emblem or whatever that build is, as long as it has mojo and Azure emblem. All right, so I guess that's the answer to one of our, let's say, one of my subscribers' request. Okay, so also a lot of guys actually asking me like, how, like, why are you always being on like the at least a top 4 in Guild Wars, right? Top 4, like almost most of the time we're in the top 4, and then it happens that we were on top 2, we were able to get, and then there's just really a few of us in like around 6 active players there are out and dummy, and before we were just like 18, we're not even reached to 24 members. Then I wasn't even aware of, you know, there it's, you know, 24 members that can actually hit the Sentinel, and then 18 members can only be is the maximum numbers that can be dispatched to each like bases, what they call like the vanguard, left and right troops, and then the main camp. So I wasn't aware of that. So that actually you know, that was the reason why we were being beaten by the one of the guild we encountered in semifinals or finals, because we are just 18. So imagine how much attack they would get, okay, or points they would get from those 6 players. All right, so if they have, of course, 24. Okay, now one of the strategy in Guild Wars, okay, just to give you some advice, is, you know, the reason why we're so effective. I'm actually the one who's commanding, who's gonna be attacked. What we're doing in Guild War is we actually, say for example, let's say Sam, right? Sam is actually in server, I believe, 172. So if we were against Sam, and we know this is a tough guild that's not easy to beat depending on the records, we're gonna create like a dummy. So say for example here, I'm gonna go to a different server and then choose like whatever server that is, and then put some like dummy on that server, and then try to spy on them. So I will not join the guild, because again, if you join the guild, you won't be able to view, right, those guilds that you want to spy on. Okay, so what we're doing is we put like a dummy, we spy on them, and we need to be really efficient with our attack, right? What I meant about that is, say for example, you have an opponent like who has this kind of stats, this example, right, or 100k attack, 100 like that, or this kind of stats. I will let someone attack him that I know who can beat this guy with one attack, right? Okay, the less you attack you use to beat an opponent, okay, the more you have a chance to attack the Sentinel, and the more points you will get. Right? Remember that. So, if, say for example, I'm the president and I'm the tough guy in our guild, like the most, like the strongest guy in our guild, I didn't just want to randomly attack a dummy, which is like 100 attack, which is a really low firepower than me. I just let someone, probably my dummy or an alp, who has a little bit more attack and defense than that, and then that I think it can that a guild of mine, member of mine, can beat that opponent from the other guild in one attack. Right? One attack. Alright? That's secret number 1. Alright? It's for guild boss. Secret number 2 is when your character actually is on the let's say on the main camp, or main camp, right? Defending the camp or the base. That's what we call it. Think about this. Alright? The HP or the points that's in every character that's defending, there's like corresponding points. Like from Vanguard there's 100, like from right and left troops there's like 120, right? And then the main camp is on 50. Alright, it doesn't matter. So this is the logic behind it. It doesn't matter, alright, if you weren't beaten or not, as long as that player accumulated, alright, enough damage that is equivalent to the points. You get it? That is equivalent to the points, then you'll be beaten, alright? Say for example, now why did I actually tell you this? Because say for example, you might, at the back of your mind, you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna use like counter with HP steal, right? So whoever attacked me, when I attack them back, my HP will not be drained that easily. No, that's the wrong way to analyze it. All right, it doesn't matter if you regain your HP, right? You won't regain your points. That's it. If he damaged you 100, and then you beat him because you know you have an HP steal, and then your HP is still like let's say for example around 90%. Okay, it's not like you're only gonna lose 10 points. Whatever is damage, and if it's accumulated to that 100 like 100 HP equals to 100 points, depending on the equivalent points, that is still gonna be his damage, no matter if you it doesn't matter if you regain your HP back or he actually loses, right? So having said that, the best build for defending a base is actually just to one hit your opponent, so he cannot damage or puts like what they call this, inflict damage or more damage on you. All right, and it's to one hit your opponent and avoid you being damaged. You need to first attack first. And what's the best build for that? Of course, it's Mojo plus Azure Emblem, and then crit, right? So that's the best build for defense. Okay? Because again, if you hit first and opponent has like rebirth or whatnot, alright, depending on how strong the opponent is, so you're not gonna get that much damage, right? But if you let them hit you and they put rebirth, then it's gonna accumulate those damage, those damage is gonna be accumulated and converted to points, then most likely they're gonna you're gonna lose a lot of points, right? So again, the best build for defense is crit plus mojo. You don't just really have to put like HP steal. No, it doesn't really matter. Now, on the other hand, while you're attacking the base, alright, you want to make sure that you inflict as much damage as you can, and then stay longer. Okay, you want to stay longer because you're gonna inflict damage, right? And then even if you don't beat the opponent, right, because he has HP steal and then you also has HP steal, but your damage accumulates to the maximum points of that defender. Okay, it will still drain the HP to the most is actually 100, right? If you beat the guy, that's the most, 100, right? So the best build for that is really a counter plus HP steal or any HP steal, right? Just toughen your character, make sure it stays longer, and of course there's a rebirth, right? So it gives you additional damage. Okay, so that's the offense and defense, I'm telling you now, guys. So now what about the opponent that he can't really beat, right? Can't really beat, it's too much for you, it's overpowering, like purchases some Zam, say for example. What are you gonna use against him? Just use whoever is the weakest and attack it, and just get 10 points, 10 points. That's probably like what, like 15 attack, right? So 15 attack, that's gonna take you like 5 dummies initially, or if you can wait actually, so the other stronger members can attack the sentinel and get more points. It's up to you. All right, so the key here is really to strategize, really plan, and of course make the most of each guild members firepower, right? Make the most of them. If it's even though if just a dummy, doesn't mean that it cannot help dummy. No matter if dummy is being one hit by the defender, it's still gonna inflict like 10 points to the enemy, right? Defending. Okay, so what else? Alright. Oh, there's one trick. Say for example, there's like a restrict and dodge, right, in the right and left troops. So they might be under the impression that you're gonna be using dodge, but counter those. Okay, what they are thinking. It might work. Sometimes it's not, but just make them believe that you're using dodge, and then you probably are spurring on additional dodge skills on the base, right? Buffs actually, but you're not really using dodge. So they were surprised. They put so much resistance in dodge, and they didn't put some resistance probably in restrict or whatnot. And no matter how big, or sometimes restrict and dodge, it doesn't really matter how strong your opponent is, right? Dodge, I believe so, but restrict, you need to consider who's gonna hit first and how much damage is gonna inflict. And there's also, you need to get back for whatever HP that you lost. Make sure that you still are standing in the end game, because sometimes your pet also attacks you, right? It's not just the character but the pets. If you're being killed by pets, then it's for nothing. Whatever you're doing is actually for nothing. Okay, so that's the tips and tricks, all right, that I'm telling you guys. Now, save also. There's like tricks here in what do you call this? I believe you probably already know. If some already uh, didn't know, there's tricks here in Rune, you know. So going to tier 2 manual is actually the best way to hunt sprite, right? And also sometimes, you know, if it's there's a time that you can get 4 sprites in a day, sometimes it's just one, but don't push it. If you were able to get one for 50 rolls, roll another 50. If you're able to get, don't push it. Stay for, I don't know, again for the next day. Also increasing your Riki actually really helps you in getting those let's say, for example, let's say type of runes, right? Specific runes. The combination of your Riki and the enchant actually will give you a bonus, like additional chance, but doesn't mean it's guaranteed. You can get it right away, but you're gonna get a higher chance, right? Because Riki actually will boost the stats of the stone that you're using, right? And enchant also will boost like the probability of you getting specific runes. Now, if, of course, you're gonna be using specific stone here, that it will be boosted by Riki, and then no, the altar actually or enchantment gonna give you like an additional percentage. So imagine the combination. So that's why those combinations are actually pretty effective, right? Okay, so what else? So for, I believe I already told you guys that Mojo is actually the best way to kill the boss. Up until, of course, this stage, like the Abyss Overlord. But for this, I don't think it's impossible, even for a high-ranking player. Unless they have this Mojo, right? Which is the overpower Mojo. Just imagine the overpower in the base, right? It even has, so it's really just counter or combo. Also, okay, for the island, the secret that I actually have here, some are actually wondering why were you able to get that much card? Why were you able to get like, how did you get like 1,000 diamond per day, right? Just for the island alone. It's just basically creating dummy. So this is the list of the dummies I have. So imagine their island is going to be on level 7, and then if you own them, you can always refresh the island till you get your desired card. Say for example for diamonds or whatnot, right? So that's the actually one of the secret of us being so competitive in the server, and then it's easy for us to be strong, to be strong and get those kind of resources, even though most of my guildmates aren't really spending that much. And yeah, so that's one way. So imagine just this character of mine. So see, it's the stamina is already 26. It can get up to like minimum probably for this character. If I'm gonna focus on cards and diamonds, it will get like 8,000 to 10,000 per day and around 1,000 diamonds. That's probably all in all. Like, you know, the guild boss, whatever rewards it is. Yeah, that's the diamonds it can get every day, right? So what else? I believe that's all of this. I guess the secret that I could tell you, and how we were able to really, get this far or really progress fast. That's also for the what do you call this? The and also how to be competitive with let's say in duel and battle of glory, right? For now, I can probably be the first in battle of glory, but it requires a lot of diamonds, right? For attack, you need to every day you need to spend probably if you want to really get that high score. If you want to spend like around like 700 diamonds daily, and then like probably which is doing, is probably spending around, my guess is around 500 to 600 diamonds daily. All right, just to get that rank. And then also if on weekly he's kind of observing if someone's gonna fight against him against the #1 spot, then he might also spend around that diamond. So it's a waste. And just for a title of, what do I call this? What is that title? First King of Glory, right? Overpower, just 2% overpower. I don't think it's worth 2% overpower for. I don't think it's actually worth getting. Mine is 2, so yeah, I don't think it's worth getting for 2% overpower. You're gonna spend a lot of diamonds wherein you can actually spend in different content of this game. But if you're really a whale like Witcher, you have a lot, spending a lot, then that's it. Also, one of the secret that makes me stronger is actually attacking these ruins. If you can attack ruins like probably 10 times a day, 13 times on top of the spree, this is the best way to get the balance stats. What I meant about balance stats is the seal, right? If you increase this, it's gonna increase a lot, like mojo, your attack, defense, and HP. If you're gonna compare it to runes, I would rather just let you focus on the seal first, okay, by attacking ruins, rather than just runes, because runes sometimes it's actually probability, it's a chance, so it's not guaranteed, right? Whereas if you increase your seal, all right, you don't have to gamble, okay, compared to runes. There's no probability. Once you attack, you'll get stats equivalent to that. You can increase. So that's one way of making sure that you're gonna get stronger without gambling. Runes. For runes, say there are runes that gives you like stats, right? Like this. Yeah, HP plus 2 plus defense, but it's not gonna get you mojo. And the one of the strongest build is actually mojo, right? So you want to bank on the runes instead of the runes. Runes probably is the secondary priority, right? Because it's gonna give you a lot of stats. But for balance stats, if you can attack the ruins, spend more of your diamonds in here, you can do so. If you're on end game, I would suggest you attack those points with 400 and up. The least probably is 350 plus, right? Or 400 plus. Because if you're gonna do less than 300, you might as well just buy the deal packs here, because that's probably equivalent to what you're spending, right? So so that's one of the secret, right? Well, it's not really secret. I've been telling that to my guild mates, my alliance members. So, and also I believe if you're watching this content and you're early part of the game, probably you're on the highest server, guys, I would let you focus on upgrading your cards as early as now. Focus on upgrading your cards, because this basically plays a big chunk of your character's progress. This is where you can get like, you know, equipment, green, SC, SSC. This is where it will give you a high share, it will boost the or increase the chance of you getting those kind of equipments. Your gold to upgrade your what do you call this? The like here, this one, like the energy shard, the energy essence, energy core. Those are equipments that you need to have to upgrade all of this. And if you notice, compare, say for example, compared to which he's actually a whale, right? He probably spends, my spending is probably not even 50% on his spendings, but look at his potentials here, right? And even his level, and probably I'm not sure with the card too, right? Because he probably are not focused on upgrading these cards, and then really the potential. My potential is almost maxed out, right? I have here, so you know, probably after the level 40, after this, then I'm gonna have like 20 million gold coins. After this, then it will upgrade again, work hard coins. After that, I can just max all of this while waiting for the upgrade, right? To make them level 20, all of it. So just imagine. One thing that I noticed did this, it's on the lower server, it's actually Silver Mix. And it's good. He's a good strategist, he's a good player. Alright. He's a good player. That's why he was able to beat Precious despite of this stats difference when the first All-Star came out. Alright. Also in Apex. So this potential actually helps a lot, though it's cost you a lot in the earlier part of the game. But you know, as the game progressed, as long as you were able to really increase your cards, then it's easy for you to increase this because you're gonna get a lot of resources because your the level of cards you have here is high. So okay, that's one of the secret why I was able to really still compete to those whales. Although I spent, yeah, I'm not gonna deny it. You can see it that there's premium, but there are let's say gamers or players that I can beat despite of their higher stats. It's basically because of some of the aspect of the game, like the potential upgrade, like your seals, right? What else? Your cards, right? The diamonds you're getting every month, the cards you're getting every month. So you have a higher chance of getting your desired equipment, like the crit with Mojo, the crit with HP Steel, counter with HP Steel, because you have a higher chance of getting this specific equipment, level of equipment. This is going to be an interesting topic. Let me just switch my defense to that. So we'll talk about the events, and for me, this is really an event that makes sense because you're gonna hitting two birds in one stone. And I'm gonna share some tips and tricks for you guys. Okay, I don't want to share it because my competitor here in the server probably will notice how I've done it. This guy is a whale too. So, all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So basically, this is the rune coins ranking. So you're gonna summon rune coins or summon runes. Once you sell it, it's gonna give you points accordingly. All right. So I'm gonna share some tips where you can actually get the most of the points right here, because with this event, okay, sell runes to gain more rune coins and get higher ranking rewards. So basically, the more coins you get, all right, the more chances of you to get the rank 1, which is actually the reward here. This rune magnet, the title is really a good title, right? Here you go. It's an overpower plus 10%. Now, going back to this event, right? I have some tips and tricks on where actually to summon. Now, so going to like a specific manual, okay, will actually allow you to get more points. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if your competitor, let's say, has more amber here, which is this stone to use to be some to be is needed to be to summon like runes, doesn't necessarily mean that if he has a lot of amber he will get more points. You just I guess knowing what to do and where you need to do and how to do it. And the reason why, all right, the reason why you're getting most points is because you're using the mutant. And if you go here in tier 5, okay, actually tier 4 in tier 4 manual, you would notice that you have this double trouble, right? Double trouble here gives you really a lot of points, right? A lot of points. I'm gonna show you later, okay? This, I believe one of this will give you like 800 runes, rune coins, right? And it's easy to get as long as you use mutant stone. And of course, you probably need to have some enchantment here for mutant. So I've locked some of this. It gives it asks me for 45 crystals every summon. So the next I guess enchant I would do is lock the 2 of this, and that's 135. That's so expensive, right? But that's probably I need probably to let's say save a lot of diamonds. It will be easier right now to save diamonds when you when you have a lot of time in howling your islands or other islands, right? All you need to do is nearby refresh, which we'll talk about that later. So again, compared to tier 7 here, it's nothing much, and it's really hard to get some of the runes here, and it's not that expensive to be sold, right? To sell them, it's not expensive. We started at 46980, and now we're just 5907. Okay, 5907, 907. All right, let's use the calculator in the notepad here. 5907 minus 46. Okay, 980. So 5907 minus 46, 980. I'm using a calculator. Okay, 46, 980. So that's equals 3,927. 3,927 for 50, or let's say 52, right? 52 mutant stone. All right, now let's switch to Sly and okay. Switch to tier 5 here. So switch to tier 5. Okay, I'm gonna use tier 5, and now I'm gonna, because I don't need any stone here from tier 5, so I'm just gonna uncheck it, so it would continuously summon. So 50, let's say 52 is what I actually used. So I'm supposed to be left. There's supposed to be 51 more mutant stone should be left to make it equal like 52 also, right? Now I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna show you how expensive this double trouble stone is. All right, I'm gonna pause. Let's do this. So every time it gets a yellow, it would stop. So you can see how expensive this stone is. So this stone, you can actually get this from tier 4 and tier 5. That's why I went to tier 5. See, that's 277. That's the lowest, right? I'm gonna sell it, 277. So going back, tier 4 and tier 5. So the reason why I choose tier 5 is because there are a lot of this too, and it's so expensive to sell them, right? This yellow. So basically, you're aiming for yellow, not only the double trouble here, which is easy to get, but you're also looking for this, which is a mutant stone too. All right, so let's see in how many will are we gonna be getting. So we're down to 52, 40, 51, so 44. We've summoned so far 8, right? So again, if you check the stone runes in tier 5, see that's toxic wood, that's 554. We just got one earlier and it summoned it again. So imagine how easy you can get those mutant stone, right? How easy it is. And I'm not sure why some of my guildmates and even some of my, let's say, friends or one who actually PM me, okay, see that's already 3, they can't still unlock this, which is really easy right here. And this one also in tier 1. I believe there's one in tier 1 or tier 2. Yeah, there's a elemental trio and then this. So I have a video that would actually explain in how to get it, but mainly if it says that it needs, like it is said that only by using a certain kind of stone can it be summoned. See, Icewood again. This is the type is what you need to refer to. So if it's a mutant, then you need to use mutant, right? If it says like this, it is said that only by using a certain kind of stone. There's a lot of them who says that. This one too. It said only a certain kind of stone. This one too. Certain kind of stone. So you're gonna go premium on that. I believe tier 4, right? And then I no longer see them, but I believe in tier 8 there's a couple of them, right? I guess this one, yeah, it looks like them, right? But in the highest level, right? So what is this, like premium? And this one too, premium, electro, wind, right? So 31 more. Okay, 31 more, and let's see our rankings. Just let's see our rankings. 5907 is what was recorded. Now 53. So we're not even half, but it already gives us like around 3.5 thousand. Yeah, 3,500 points, which is somewhat equivalent to the 50s mutant stone in tier 7, right? And we're not even half there. So basically, in a nutshell, what it is, for every rune summon events, it's best to go to like the tier 5. I'm not sure about tier 6, but looking at tier 6, it doesn't have that much stone that can be easily summoned, and it's actually yellow, because yellow has the highest rating, right? And it's hard to get this stone, even this stone, right? Premium, so it's hard to get them. See, I'm even getting this blizzard here, so it's kind of expensive. Restrict, okay, 554. So tier 5 actually has the most yellow stone, right? And since you can get this, see, toxic ice, see, imagine the rune coins, 831, right? It's almost like it's a special type of stone, right? You can get this tier 4, tier 5 special, okay. These two probably are hard to get to. Okay, but I would just choose mutant, because in tier 5 there's a lot of mutant here. This one too, it's mutant, right? So this doesn't necessarily mean that if you're against someone who could probably spend the money a little bit, or you could double the expenses, is still gonna win over the rankings, right? There's a chance that you could win as long as you know what to do, you know where to go, and you know how to do it, right? And if you have suggestion or comments, ideas, which has not been discussed here, feel free to comment below. So we're let's say 8 stone away, right, to complete the 64, 13 stone away, right? 13. Okay, so 554. Imagine the rune coins that it actually gives you. Alright, I'm gonna stop the video once we've reached the 10 more. So countdown 10. Alright. And there's 9. Okay, sorry that this video it's taking longer than it's supposed to. It's just that I just want you to see really, right, how good this trick is, or this trick, basically we call it tricks, how good this trick is. But of course you need to spend diamonds for mutant, and a good, see, I got lizards again, and it's 554. And the good thing about this is it actually, you can have this, and then you can also get this from this event. So it's like hitting, again, 2 birds in 1 stone, 3 birds actually in 1 stone. Okay. Right, ice wood again. So it's like 60% of the time you're getting those double trouble stone, right? 60%, 50 to 60%, 70 sometimes, right? You're getting this double trouble stone here, which is expensive to sell, right? Or let's say the conservative estimate, and let's say 30% of the time. See, I just mentioned it, like 30%. Okay, 30 to 70%. So in the middle, that's 50, right? So 3 more, and then let's check our rankings. So this one is tier 7. Tier 7, 52 mutant stone. Okay. Mutant stone. Alright. So it was like 155 minus 52, 103, and then minus 52 again, and tier 5. Let's see. So tier 5. First round. So second. This is second round, right? This is first round. Okay, let me just prepare the notepad so you guys can see it. Let's do 16. Okay, so let's switch to here, right? Rankings. So where we're at, like 50,907. Now we're at 58. So earlier we're right now at 58, 904. So basically 50, 907, and then 50, 904, it's basically 8,000 points, right? Okay, so let's switch to the notepad. So 50907 minus right, 50907. All right, so no brainer. It's 8,000, right? 8,000 or 7,994. Okay, 97. All right, or yeah. So basically 8,997 or 7,000. Sorry, 7,997 is okay. This is tier 5. Okay. So for tier 4, this is also 52 stones. Mutant stones. So earlier we summoned 52 mutant stones. So we started at 50 or 46, and then we get to 50. So that's 3,927. 52 mutant stone, tier 7. Tier 5, 52 mutant stone, 58. 904 minus we ended up 58,904. We started at 50,907, and this gives us 7,997, which is there. I conclude that it's actually twice you're getting. All right, but there are actually stones here in tier 7 that could be potentially summoned. So I would suggest that if you're actually toe-to-toe with someone in your server, then, and the title is really important to you, as well as the rewards that you will be getting, then it's you can use the strategy, right? But if you're really far ahead of the competition, you can just go in tier 7. So you might be lucky enough to get these stones right here, which I haven't even unlocked. Even me, I haven't unlocked this one. And just imagine the stats it could give you: HP, attack, and defense percentage. All right, so again, if you're far ahead of the competition, you can just stick to tier 7. If not, and if you're looking for to be number 1 in the rankings, the title is really important to you, and the rewards as well. So better yet, go to tier 5. Okay, and use the mutant stone. All right, so much about it, guys. If you have feel free to ask any questions. If you have comments, opinion you want to share, feel free to comment it below. And again, I'm gonna add some tips and tricks videos on this, so after this, so you might want to watch it. Thank you. This is Sly again, and for those who probably want to, if you're a viewer and then you're spending on this game, you're planning on spending more, I would just rather, if you're interested in buying my account, I'll sell it to you in a cheaper price. But that's like a price that's almost, you're giving it away. Like I would sell this a cheaper price and considerably cheaper than what I actually spend on this game. So feel free to put some message, and of course only those serious and who has the ability to, of course, pay. If you know the value of this, then alright, let's talk. Alright, so I'm Sly. This is probably going to be my last video, but if you want something, request for some videos, if I don't have that on my YouTube channel, I can create it for you. Alright, so much about that. Peace and bye-bye.